Hey guys and girls, welcome back. Alright, we've got an exciting update for you today. There's a lot been going on here in the garden downstairs, here in the basement. What we're going to go over is just general maintenance on how to take care of these plants and what to do when you look in the garden week by week, and some trimming and just a couple things we'll talk about. Alright, so we've got 4 of these kale plants. They are doing excellent. Honestly, there's nothing to do to these. We're gonna cut these leaves off here, make some salads out of them. They're in excellent health, really. Not much else to say. They're really liking the environment. Speaking of the environment, let's check that out real quick. As you can see, we're right around 70, 75 degrees, and humidity's at 40%. That's fine. I would prefer a little more around the 80 degrees for these plants. And we have a lot of different varieties growing in here, but the important thing to know is there's a happy medium with a lot of these plants. We've got kale, peppers, cucumbers, basil. You've got a lot of things growing in here, and they don't need their own environment. Now, if we're going professionally and we had a room full of one crop and we wanted to perfect it, certainly we would find the absolute perfect temperature for that cultivar, and we would exploit that and find the perfect fertilizer recipe. But we've got a lot of plants here, so we're going to just, like I said, find a happy medium for them all. So let's talk about the next plant. Here we have a jalapeno pepper plant. We have 3 of these growing right now. The plan is to make some pickled jalapenos and candied jalapenos, also known as cowboy candy. These plants are in very good health. There seems to be a little bit of a deficiency. The stem has a little bit of purple striping on it, indicating sometimes a magnesium deficiency or something like that. But what I'm thinking is these are the plants right below the center of the light, and so the lighting intensity is probably a little bit high for them. You might be saying they're pepper plants, they can grow in the desert. Well, that's true, but I've got these lights on for 18 hours straight, so if they're in kind of a direct beam for that much time, that's a lot of light. These lights are no messing around. So I'm not going to change much on that. I did dim the lights down probably about 5 to 10% just to see if that changes it. You'll see in the new growth if it's green or if it still has a little bit of that purple stems. But overall, plants are in good health. This one fell over a little bit, and some leaves have fallen into the dirt. So what we're going to do real quick is trim those off. Hold on, let me grab the scissors. Okay, just go snip, snip. And now there's nothing in the dirt. So everything looks good here. We're going to move on to the next plant. All right, we have 2 different varieties of basil here. We have the lemon drop basil and the Genovese. The lemon drop is growing obviously a little bit faster than the Genovese. I have topped this, meaning I've pruned the top growing branch, and it has created more branching of the lateral lower branches. This one has not been topped at all. It's just one main stalk. So what we can do is cut the tip off this and let it grow out a little more to get more leaves. So let's do that. I'm just going to trim the very top. Boom. Oh, it smells good. And at this point, we're going to have 2 come up here. And as this is healing, the lower branch is going to come out more. So that should push out more to match this a little bit better. And Should be really good. We make teas out of these, and they're very nice, very excellent. I highly recommend, especially this lemon drop basil. It's amazing. All right, next we have a cucumber. This one is growing as a cucumber should. Nice long vine. You can see the browning here from the earlier problem we had, I think, with the cocoa just having extra salt built up in it. But as you can tell from the newer growth, that has gone away. So what we're going to do is cut this leaf off here because it's ugly and we don't even need to see it anymore. And I see some flowers growing here. So what we're going to do, since we don't want fruits down here yet, we're going to let this plant mature a little bit. We're going to cut those off as well. There we go. So that's a little cleaner now. Eventually, this portion here where I'm sitting is going to have another tray and trellis netting going across, and this is going to fill this trellis netting. We're going to plant this into a larger pot and just see how that goes. Let's move on to the next plant. All right, we have another variety of cucumber here, our second variety. Now, this is a variety that I had not grown yet, and it's acting a little differently. It has not turned into a vine just like the last one we saw. They are the same age. Everything in here is exactly 7 weeks from when I planted the seed. So we're gonna see what happens here. Remember, again, we have these brown leaves here. There's just a lot of plant matter here. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna trim some of this. Let me grab some scissors here and we're gonna investigate what's going on here. So let's get rid of this guy first of all. Oh my gosh. Okay, nice. And we got another one over here, so we'll get rid of this guy as well. Jeez. Okay, so we can see a little better. It hasn't even bushed out, it's just kind of beefed out, I would say. So we're gonna also cut any of the suckers and anything off the bottom right now. I'd like this to get a little bigger before we start getting fruits on it. So let's just start trimming. And trimming. So we're gonna leave it like that, let it grow up a little bit more. This was gonna also be in this tray that was gonna be here. But if it's not going to turn into a vine, I don't know. We're just going to see what happens with it. It's all a big experiment. We're going to have fun, and it is what it is, right? So let's move on to the next plant. Hey, so just a quick update. After we trimmed those large leaves off the bottom, this guy shot up quite a bit. It is officially a vine at this point, so it will be included in this area here for the trellis net, and so I just want to update you guys on the success of that little trimming and what it did for us. Oh my goodness. This thing has gone crazy. This is the dill. Smells great. When you open the tent, you smell this. The plan was to use this dill to make the pickles, to make the dill pickles. However, clearly this is ready and the pickles are not ready yet. So we're gonna have to use this for something else. And then I'm gonna start some more seeds closer to the time of harvest of the cucumbers so that we have fresh dill, because this is ready to go. I'm gonna cut it down and try to figure out something to use it on. We're trying to find some recipes. There's a lot of fish recipes for it. If you got a good recipe, let us know, and you can just put that in the comments. To make things easier for you guys, I've put links down in the description on where to find some of these products, like these bags, the heat mats I use, the fertilizer I use, all that good stuff. And when you purchase those things through my links, it helps the channel. So thanks in advance. Let's move on to the next plant. Finally, we have this tray here of arugula. I'm waiting till it gets a few more inches tall. We have a couple of the true leaves coming out. It's right past the point of just the cotyledon stage. They taste really good, but I want to make salads out of this, and this is like not enough food here yet. So we'll wait till it gets a little bigger, and then we will mow this down and put it in our salads with the kale and whatever else we might have at the time. Again, this is in just mostly cocoa with a little bit of worm castings in there. I started to fertilize at this point just to keep things green, because the first few stages you don't need much, especially with the worm castings in there. But after a certain amount, there's a lot of plants growing in here and a lot of green matter, so it's going to need some fertilizer. So we've started fertilizing this at this point. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you found it both educational and informative. I'll see you next time for sure.